Today marks 1268 days shared lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person you want to become. Today we speak about things that people ask for that they are not able to handle. We are very interesting beings. Sometimes we ask things, but we actually not able to handle that. And today we'll share six things that we potentially could ask for, even though that we truly do not want that. Not every single person is able to handle what they ask for. And what is that? I think that the first thing is that people say like, "Oh, I'm open to new ideas. Give me new ideas. I'm open to new ideas." I think that people say I'm open-minded, but I think that open-mindedness is something that you need to actually look into what is your actions based on. Because people say that, "Oh, I'm open-minded," but they are not open-minded. They are open-minded until it confirms what they believe in. They open-minded until it confirms what they believe in. If something doesn't believe, oh no, I don't believe it. That's not true. Or they create an argument like this is not, doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that means that when we open-minded, we are willing to take action on the new ideas. Because when they say, oh, I might be wrong. Maybe I never took action and never understood. Because a lot of times when before we take action, we believe that something is hard, something is simple. When we take action, we start to realize that the things that we thought it would be hard is simple, and with the things that we thought it would be simple is hard. So I think that a lot of times people who say that I'm open-minded, we need to check how often do they implement anything that is comes from that new ideas, because it's very very comfortable to really stick to the old ways. And I think that's what is a great way to really understand who is open-minded is look into the things how they handle new information. Because if a person is quick in admitting that maybe they were wrong, because if a person, oh, I was never wrong. If a person is very fast to admit that they were wrong, that means that they're open-minded because they're willing to accept new information, reflect on that new information, and say like, oh yeah, I never thought. There's a new perspective. And I think it's a very beautiful thing to understand you that you're able to adjust and let go all the things that doesn't work anymore. I think that sometimes what we do, we want to protect our ego and want to keep doing what we're doing, even though it doesn't work, but that protects our ego. But being able to admit the things that doesn't work and let go of that and start implementing the things that work, I think that's it's much bit better. And then sometimes, of course, accepting new information is uncertainty because you didn't try it yet, you didn't implement it. So that means that we need to be okay that will feel out of control for a bit until we implemented that information and that uncertain information. I think that be open-minded sounds good, but sometimes that being open-minded means that we need to unlearn everything that once made us feel smart or even safe. So I mean, sometimes we believe that we are very smart because we have no knowledge, but now that information that we felt smart about end up being wrong. An open-minded will be willing to say that, well, it is what it is. I'm able to really get that new information and be smart now even more than before. Number two is all I need is communication. I think this is very, very common, especially in relationships, that people say, oh, I just need my communication. But I think that people say that all I need is our communication, but they truly don't want that because I need communication that validates me. I need communication that I really want to hear, that makes me calm, makes me secure. That's the information I want to hear. I want to emotion clarity, but don't want emotional labor. That's what they truly say sometimes. They want clarity but not labor. And communication a lot of times is a massive emotional and mental labor. Being able to have that discussion, that mini argument. I always love that mini argument is discussion. Sometimes heating discussion. And being able to really not go into the argument or different directions, being able to have that communication. So all I need communication is really being open to discussion because some people are not able to really have that. And that means that communication is being able to listen when it's hard, showing up without being defensiveness. They're showing defensiveness. and really trying to understand without trying to win, because that's a massive. I think that communication is that person shares, but after that is not willing to accept the other side. And it's that I'm communicating, but communication is not just telling. Communication is being able to listen and really trying to understand, and that's probably the highest level of communication. Person who is communicate well, who speak well, is not the highest level of communication. Communication is when a person who is able to really listen, reflect, understand, and then based on that be able to really communicate and speak as well. That's the highest level of communication. And people who say that, oh, I just need communication, a lot of times what they truly want is just they want to speak but not really listen. And I think that's what we can say, that you don't want communication, you want comfort dressed in honesty. Um, Number three is I just want honesty. I just want honesty. I just want truth. I think that is again, people are not able to handle truth. They say they want truth because it's very nice to say that, but not every single person is willing to listen to that truth, because truth, what it says, truth says that you're not enough yet. You have a lot of weakness, shortcomings, made a lot of mistakes. And it means that you need to take accountability at that moment. Hearing all the things that you are not good at, it could be hard. And people like, I just want to hear truth. I want to have honest feedback. And again, the person who gives the feedback needs to be aware of the person who says that I want to have truth and honesty, because a person who gives feedback is a massive responsibility, massive, because we're able to really give and uplift person. But I think that if we focus just on the bad things, of course, we're not able to uplift. But being able to help person who really wants truth, but at the same time bring the good things and the bad things. But again, some people just, even though that a person who gives feedback is amazing and give it feedback, some people will not be able to accept that because they just want to really only listen to the good things. Because I think that sometimes people like, I just want to truth, but they will not accept the things that they're not willing to change, even though they say I want just honesty. And I think that's about when they are confronted with a pattern that they want not willing to change, they will become even defensive. And I think that's again, and I think that sometimes people hope that they are good and they have false expectation of themselves, and then when they try that reality bubble is destroyed, sometimes they will not be able to accept the truth, even though they said it. And sometimes people say that, but it doesn't mean that. Tell me the truth often means tell me something real as long it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt it, that as long it doesn't hurt me. I think that's what the truth sometimes means. Number four is I want to grow. This is very, very common, especially when I had really so many conversations, really aspiring entrepreneurs, business owners, who really, or people who are working 9 to 5 and they want to become a business owners. eh, And I think that is very, very common. I want to grow, I want to improve, but I don't want to do the thing that makes me grow. Or I'm not willing to give up things. I'm not able to sacrifice. I always used to ask, just to ask the question. So you want to become a business owner. Are you willing to sacrifice your Friday nights, so clubbing or barbecues on Saturday or Sundays? Are you willing to sacrifice those things? And I just used to ask just to understand the willingness level. And some people say, no, I'm not willing. And I think that that's the key, showing that I want to grow, I want to build a business, but I'm not willing to do the things necessary to build it. And it's just, I think that sometimes we need to stop lying to ourselves and really do the right things. Because if we lie to ourselves and really thinking that we want to become a business owner, but we're not willing to do the things that requires really to build a business, maybe we need to realize that we are delusional. And sometimes I think that is the worst part. Really hoping for the big dream, but your habits is for small dreams. And again, when you say I want to grow, we need to ask ourselves like, where is that desire is coming from? Are you willing to give up things to go up? Because that's what John C. Maxwell says. I really love it. And I love that book Intentional Living, that everything what is achieved through success is intentional. And if we want to grow, we want to really grow. And by taking really actions. So you say you want to evolve, but do you want to go through that evolution and what it costs? Because I think that we need to understand that if you really want to grow, you need to pay the price for that growth. Because every single growth requires some price. And maybe you want a little bit growth, and that's all fine. But if you want massive growth and you say like I'm willing to pay just a little bit, maybe that's again this is a too much. So Understanding where that is very important. Number five, I want someone who challenged me. And again, this is very, very important. I think that people say that I want accountability. I think that a lot of times people want accountability during good days, but during bad days they want to run away, hide, and I think that people who challenges people really sometimes take away all the self-image, self-worth, and those things is a lot of times coming from self-insecurities because it forces to self-respect, self-reflect. And when we reflect, we start to see that there is a lot of things that we need to work on. But again, this part of seeing that there's a lot of things to work on, not supposed to discourage us, because self-awareness is probably the massive step that most people not even aware of it. So when we are aware of what we need to work on, and we have someone, mentor, a guide, a coach, advisor who is willing to really share feedback down the road, because if they would not see potential you, they will not be even mentoring you, even though that you say that I'm so far behind where I would love to be. That person who is speaking with you, who is giving feedback, sees value, because if he will not see the value, he would not share even that feedback in the first place. And that's what we need to understand, because that challenged me. That of course challenges everything, challenges your beliefs, challenges identity, challenges your ego, all the things, and we need to really let it go to be able to really to take advantage of that person who says that, oh, I want you to challenge me. And there's that you want someone to pushes you, but only if it doesn't push your buttons. Because every single person has some triggers, some buttons, and you need to understand that if you really give some permission to someone else to challenge me, that means if we give them that permission to really find those buttons, use those buttons, that we can really remove those trigger buttons and really grow into the person that we need to become to achieve greatness. The last one, number six, is I want just peace. I guess a lot of the times people say that I want just peace, but they get peace, and say, "Oh, just too quiet, too slow, lacking drama, adrenaline," and people start to create drama, chaos, like a storm in their life because they just get familiar. I really love that Ed Millett because he always teaches that every single person has emotional home. And what is that? Your emotional home is your emotional home is peace. Your emotional home is anger. Your emotional home is grief, shame, is neutral, is gratefulness. What are your emotional home? I think that we need to change that emotional home that we could really seek something that really peace. That is emotional home, and I think that being able to achieve that, that's uh, and I think it's much easier to achieve that when you actually want it. When you really say that I want to make my emotional home as peace, even though I was familiar for so many years with chaos, with movement, with scarcity. Now I will move to the something that really I want, because I think that it's too often that we say that we want it, but actually the actions does differently. You say what you want peace, but are you ready to let go of the parts of you addicted to the storm? Because sometimes you need to really remove the parts of that storm that we because we're addicted to that emotion, to that hype of that liveliness coming from that negativity, and being able to really remove that and really have that finally peace. So I hope that you reflect as well. I think that is a very interesting topic. Really saying that you want something, but in deep down in subconscious you don't want it, or you're not able to accept it yet, that yet, and being able to say, do I sabotage that? For example, like, oh, I want just peace, but do you sabotage that by keeping addictive bad behaviors that creates drama, that creates in your life? Or I want someone who challenge me. Do you want challenge, but are you willing to really change? Are you able to improve? Are you willing to have that accountability in your life? I think that's very nice to say something, but are you really willing to really do the necessary things to really take advantage of what you're saying you want? So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.